What could bring a diabetic from an emotional state of extreme discouragement to an enthusiastic elation expressed by the words, "I can do this"? And what kind of victory over diabetes could be so powerful, so fast, and so dramatic that it leads the doctor himself into a state of confusion? Well, I'll be sharing these and other diabetic situations and insights coming up. We will be continuing to look at some of the comments that I receive underneath my videos, and I would encourage you to comment as well. I do read them, and I appreciate them. I appreciate your involvement. And, you know, a lot of times you guys can help each other, and sometimes somebody will ask a question and somebody else will answer it, and I'll say, they answered it better than I could have. And in fact, some of your testimonies have helped me and motivated me to do better and be more diligent in my own diet and dietary habits. So the comments can be very valuable. We get some stinkers here and there and some people saying some things they ought not, but that's another story. Well, let's look at this comment that was from a person who was watching one of our videos about fruit raising blood sugar. They say, "I was eating fruits, bananas, grapes, mangoes. Good, right? Wrong. I did your banana test and had the same results." I love this. I did your banana test, had the same results. My sugar spiked to well over the 200 mark. I didn't know grapes will do the same thing. I stopped drinking orange juice, always thought it was healthy. Hey, it had fiber. It's a serious and oftentimes confusing adjustment. I go to expert websites and they're giving conflicting information, eating several small meals throughout the day, for example. They're the experts. We've been told this for decades. Well, this person is starting to get it, but the thing I love so much is I did your banana test. You know, I couldn't tell you how many harsh critics I had on that test where I ate 2 bananas and tested myself, and then I ate 2 candy bars and tested myself. The bananas spiked my blood sugar over 200 higher than the candy bars did. And when I did those tests, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the bananas to be somewhat lower. But people just got so furious with me. But I like what this person did. He said, I did your test. I got the same results. My blood sugar went over 200 as well. Well, diabetics typically will get those kind of results from a couple of large, sweet bananas. Eat a couple of small green ones, and it won't be that high. But a couple of large, sweet ones, yeah, it will. But I did your test. I like that. And once again, I have to remind you, I'm not doing these tests as your designated tester. I'll do a few, but really you need to be testing yourself often. Here's another comment. This person writes, I'm a newly diagnosed diabetic. I've recently been watching your videos to help me out. I really find your videos very informative and helpful. Thank you so much. I am a newly diagnosed diabetic. You know, that thought is very profound to me. I know that every day, every week, every month, and every year, there's a whole new batch of new diabetics that are making that terrible drive home from the doctor's office having been told, you are diabetic. And it is scary, and many of them don't have a clue what to do. And when I created this channel, it was really these kind of people I had in mind. I really wasn't doing it for the professional keto dieter who's watched 20,000 different YouTube videos about keto. They know more about it than I do. I wasn't creating it for that type of person, although if that's you, you're welcome to watch it, and hopefully you can gain a little something from my simple experiments and talks. But really, I was creating it for this kind of a person, a newly diagnosed diabetic that's confused, that's scared, that is wondering, what in the world do I do? And just trying to provide some plain answers. And the way the channel has grown and people have responded, I know it's doing some good, and I thank God for that. Okay, another comment. Oh my gosh, Dennis. This person is kind of dramatic. Oh my gosh, Dennis, I've been following your example since March the 7th, and my blood sugar has gone from 174 in the morning down to 115. this morning. That made me happy. It's been a lot of work trying to completely overhaul the way I eat, but all of this hard work seems to be well worth it, and I haven't felt deprived at all. Well, good for you. Some people do, but I'm glad you don't, and I don't either. I don't feel deprived. I don't go around thinking, oh, poor me, I can't eat French fries. Well, so what? Life is a lot bigger than French fries. Anyway, thank you so much, they say, for sharing your knowledge with us. It's made things so much more clear for me. I've gone from feeling extremely discouraged with all the conflicting information out there to feeling like I can do this. After 2 years of struggling, the path I need to take is finally clear to me. Thank you. That just warms my heart. I just love that. I just love it. From being extremely discouraged, and we've all been there. Boy, I have. And then the euphoria of getting some good results, seeing the numbers go down, and saying to yourself, I've got this. I can do it. By the grace of God, I can do this. I can get those numbers down. And again, those are the kind of people we're really here to help. People that are discouraged, people that are depressed and looking for answers, and we're just trying to say, hey, here's some answers. I can do this. Love it, love it, love it. Here's a person who watched the oatmeal test versus Fruit Loops. They both raised blood sugar. Said, I made this mistake after I was first diagnosed. I assume he's talking about the mistake of just assuming some grains are better than others and, oatmeal's fine. Oatmeal can work if you do it in small portions and for some people. But anyway, they say, I thought I was eating something healthy. Then I found your video about chia seeds. That's what I eat now. By the way, my second A1C test last week, since being diagnosed as diabetic, was 5.1, no medication. So diagnosed diabetic, they don't say what the number was, but it would have to be 6.5 or higher as an A1C. And now it's down to 5.1 without medication. He said, they go on to say, the doctor is confused and says it looks like I'm cured. No thanks to him, that's for sure. Well, I don't want to disrespect doctors. He said this, I didn't. And some doctors are a lot more helpful than others, that is for sure. But to get down to 5.1, you see, if you go into a doctor and say, doctor, I think I have diabetes, and he tests you and tests your A1C and says, well, your A1C is 5.1, he will never, let me say it again, he will never tell you you have diabetes. He will tell you you don't have diabetes. He will tell you you're not even pre-diabetic. And yet this person, just a few months earlier, had diabetes, according to the doctor. Now they don't, and they say the doctor's confused. Doesn't know what to say about that. Well, one thing you can say is thank God, and another thing you can say is I'm happy to be cutting the carbs and seeing the results. One person asked me with all these tests that I do, and when I say all these tests, and the testing high carb foods, it's not really as many as you think it is. Some of these tests I'm showing from years back, and it's not like every other week I'm raising my blood sugar. I wouldn't do that. I respect my body too much to do that. Once in a while, I'll raise it for your sakes and for the sake of making the truth known. But if you came to my house and watched me eat normally, you'd realize this is a low-carb guy. But this person said, you're just looking for an excuse to eat the food you miss. Well, believe me, I'm not. I don't even miss my old way of eating. I really don't. There are just so many substitutes that you can have, desserts you can eat, all kinds of ways you can enjoy your food. And, I've told people that my philosophy is there's no reason to sacrifice more than you have to get your blood sugar down. I'll sacrifice what I have to sacrifice, but I don't want to sacrifice more than I have to. Some people are so drastic, I'm not going to eat a single carb. No carb will ever pass through these lips, baby. And I'll never touch a single piece of bread. No bread for these lips, baby. And they're just so fanatical. You'll get your blood sugar down that way for sure, but you don't really need to be quite that drastic. So my philosophy is if you don't have to, why? If you can get your blood glucose numbers down to where your fasting is under 100, your A1C is in the 5s, especially the low 5s, you're good. And I just honestly don't feel the need to get drastic and fanatic about it. Let's do what we have to do, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't really want to do too much more than I have to do. Before we bring this video to a close, I have to share one more success story. This is from an email I received from a young lady named Katrina. She writes these words, "I follow you on YouTube, your Beat Diabetes channel. In December, 5 months ago, I was diagnosed diabetic with an A1C of 9.3. I'm 38 and I never saw it coming. The hope and support I get from your videos has helped me tremendously. Today, I tested my A1C and got a non-diabetic result. I've never taken any meds, just a low-carb diet with intermittent fasting and some exercise. I'm thrilled to have reversed my diabetes rather quickly, and videos like yours help me stay on track and feel like I can relate. You inspire me. Attached is me with my great result. Have a wonderful day." Katrina gave me permission to share her email and her picture as well, so here it is. I love two things about this picture. I love the numerical result of her A1C test. A 5.3 is wonderful, especially for someone who was in the 9s not long ago. But I also love the smile on her face. That says it all. Well done, Katrina. Well, that wraps up our video for today. If you've got something out of it, give it a thumbs up so more people like Katrina can get the information they need. And consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and then click the little bell icon so you'll be notified every time we post a new video. God bless. See you again soon.